6, 2019, 4:30 p.m., 53 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. I just got off the train at 5th Avenue and 59th Street, and I'm going to take you on a walk of 6th Avenue today. This is a Brooklyn-bound R train. The station is also served by the N and W trains. I'm getting off at 59th Street at Central Park South, directly underneath the Plaza Hotel. See, I wasn't kidding. This is the Plaza Hotel. There's a sign that shows us right here. This door to my left goes right into the Plaza Hotel. I don't know how long it's been closed, but I don't think it's open to the public anymore. But it is a nice benefit to have. You can say you have a hotel room right in front of the subway. So this is Central Park South. Even though the subway station's 5th Avenue, it's all the way over there. That's where 5th Avenue is. Here's a nice art annex, the Central Park Gallery. Very, very nice, and probably very expensive as well to buy one of those art pieces. But all of Central Park South is lined with hotels. You've got the Plaza Hotel over there, the Park Lane Hotel over here. There's even a restaurant there too as well. Here's another restaurant, famous restaurant, Sarah Beth's. Let's see what they have. Here's something coming soon. Gabriel's Bar and Restaurant. I guess it used to be Bobby Vance, but they etched the name off. Yeah,
she was telling me that most of the ones.
This hotel is very famous. It's the Ritz-Carlton. And now I've approached 6th Avenue. Going to make my way south on 6th Avenue now. You can see there's a lot of activity now. It is the beginning of rush hour. November is the busiest time for New York City and the subway system, because you have all the tourists coming in at this time. You have people who work in Manhattan, and you also have the school children in session. So you combine that all together.
Yeah,
that pet owner should have restrained the dog a little bit better. But as I was saying, the combination of all the tourists using the subway at this time, the school children using the subway, and also people working all at the same time, makes it the busiest time for the subway system. Here you see some of the tall buildings being erected along Central Park's southern border.
É como se eu falar, né, na casa
I go through some of them on my 57th Street walk video. The busiest time for tourist season is during November and December. Here's W57, an Italian steakhouse. 57th Street subway station on the F line on 6th Avenue. Recently renovated. It was closed for many months. And now I've approached 57th Street, nicknamed Billionaires Row, all along from about Park Avenue to 8th Avenue, because of all these tall buildings and billionaires who live here. A fun fact, I think there's a statistic, 1 in every 21 people in New York City is a millionaire. Here's a camera store, an electronics store. I generally wouldn't recommend buying any electronics from places like them, because I noticed that a lot of their quality is inferior. Sometimes they sell these secondhand products and you can't return them. Here's a Chase Bank. Chase is the bank with the most branches in New York City. So if you have Chase, you're in luck. Here's a gourmet marketplace, Ernst Klein and Company. And Bank of America. A lot of traffic here. I'm about to enter the busiest area of 6th Avenue, that being around Rockefeller Center. At the corner here of 54th Street and 6th Avenue, there's the Hilton Hotel. The Beatles used to stay at this hotel. when they performed their first concert in America. I believe it is the largest the largest hotel in New York City as well.
Yeah, this guy was $8,000. He's in it.
There's a lot of construction going on here, unique architectural styles.
He was saying, he basically, he looked at, I brought another book for him just to look at. And I told him,
So I'm approaching 53rd Street. We're going to pass by a really, really unique building. This building on the corner here is called the Black Rock, otherwise known as the CBS building. It's its headquarters.
It's not something that, if they find out, it ruins the grade of their book or anything. But what they're doing is they're just
designed by ⁴ ⴷ 38 stories tall, 38 stories and 490 feet tall, with approximately 872,000 square feet. In fact, this area where I'm going to be passing is also known as Broadcast Row. All the major channels and news operations have their headquarters here. Inside Rockefeller Center, NBC News has their headquarters, located in the Comcast building in Rockefeller Center. Also, the Fox News company has a location in Rockefeller Center as well. You can see the Black Rock building is also home to a Charles Schwab, the brokerage.
Less of it, right?
Here is the Neuberger Berman building. Not too familiar with this one. In front of me at the corner of 50th Street is the Radio City Music Hall. Soon this area is going to be very, very crowded. It's home to the Radio City Rockettes. The Rockettes aren't performing right now. I saw a sign. I wouldn't go right now. Rockettes aren't performing until November 8th. I know I always stress about traffic safety, but pay attention, folks. Look both ways before you cross. Look at the walk signals and only cross when it's safe. That truck driver nearly hit those two women. Here we have Salvation Army dancer. The holidays are coming soon, and these guys are all famous for performing here. So make sure you donate to a good cause. One of the organizations I love in New York City. They do a lot of good throughout the 5 boroughs and around the world. Here, 50th Street, you can see Rockefeller Center in the distance. Rockefeller Center extends from 51st Street, I believe, to 49th Street. And I believe Rockefeller Center, the land is owned by Columbia University. But it is leased out to the Rockefeller family, or used to be anyway. Rockefeller was one of the power people back in the day when he was the head of the oil companies, the head of Standard Oil. Here's a very, very good ice cream spot, Van Leeuwen. You can really go in there and get some unique flavors. This is the headquarters of NBC, the National Broadcasting Corporation. Also, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon is here. (1251) 6th Avenue is there's a Chase branch in there as well. Magnolia Bakery, very, very famous bakery. Yes. Sure. Yes, it is. This is a GoPro. A GoPro? Yeah, this is a stabilizer. Yeah. Yeah, you can. It's come down in price too because they released the latest model. This one's the 7. Yeah. All right. Time is now 4:48 p.m. Loft. It's actually unusual that people approach me about my camera setup. It doesn't really happen too often. I'm still using the GoPro Hero 7 Black because the Hero 8 Black, I don't have a gimbal for it yet. I'm going to wait for a specialized gimbal to come out before I use it. The last time I used it with the shorty stick, it was very shaky. There's nothing wrong with my Hero 7 Black, so why not continue to use it until that happens? This is a very, very old school police and fire alarm station. What you do is you lift it up and press the button and wait for the operator. It probably still works, but I don't really know how reliable it is. Nowadays, pretty much everybody has a mobile phone. You can just call the emergency number. Here is 911. Here's the Gap store. Oh, look at this, another reference to Broadcastville News Corporation, owned by Rupert Murdoch.
here.
Okay, this is the Diamond District on 47th Street. It extends all the way to 5th Avenue along 47th Street. Most of the deals are done by handshake here. And a lot of its stores are closed on Saturdays because that's the day of the Jewish Sabbath. Many of the diamond dealers and jewelry owners, their faith is of the Jewish faith, so that's why the stores are closed on Saturdays. Formerly, the Diamond District was located on Canal Street in the Chinatown area. But if you want to buy any rings or gold or jewelry, this is the place to be, the Diamond District in Manhattan. Here's a chain restaurant you'll find all around the world, the Golden Arches. I'm pretty sure you've seen it if you live in a somewhat developed country. I've been noticing a lot less McDonald's throughout New York City, but they are still here. McDonald's has been displaced by many of the restaurants which are up and coming, like Chipotle and Dos Toros, Chick-fil-A. Sounds like someone's playing music. Don't know what's going on there. Down there is Times Square, only a block away on 7th Avenue. And let's see what's up here. You even get some street performances here. This is the good thing about New York. You come up and there's random music playing. I won't stay around to listen to their music, but if you want to check them out, I just saw their sign. Their Instagram is the Dark Sky Hustlers. I like that name a lot. These food trucks I see commonly throughout the city, their nuts are so good because you go nuts for their nuts. Just like their name is, states. They're so addicting. Wow, 45th Street is really busy.
Yeah.
Here is a place called the 6th Avenue Garden. Looks like a lot of different booths here, shopping court. Very interesting place. But I'm about to pass by an even more impressive village that's set up similar to that. That's the Bryant Park Winter Village. It's coming up as soon as I get past 42nd Street. It's on only during the winter season.
But yeah, my phone is just, I don't even know if I paid it all.
I said it.
Yeah.
There's a new movie coming out, Midway, animated advertisement. Across the street is a store for the Steinway & Sons Piano Factory. Here you can see some two very impressive buildings. 2 Times Square, otherwise known as the Conde Nast building. That's the H&M logo on top. And this one over here is the Bank of America Tower. And here's the Grace building. Interesting architecture with a curve. And this building is being constructed, the Grace Plaza. In just a few weeks at this time, I probably won't be able to walk 6th Avenue as comfortably as I am right now, just due to the amount of tourists. Right now it's still manageable. This building at the corner of 42nd Street and 6th Avenue is the Salesforce Tower. Has a Whole Foods Markets inside as well as a ⁴ I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. It's a watch company. Also Salesforce and Pandora jewelry company. You can just make out the top of the Empire State Building over there above the trees of Bryant Park. This park, Bryant Park, used to be called Needle Park because there were a lot of problems with it back in the day. I think it was during the 50s and 60s. It wasn't maintained well. But now it became a private and public partnership. All of the activities in Bryant Park are free. It's hosting the Winter Village right now. You know what? Since I'm traveling south anyway, I might as well go into Bryant Park and travel south along part of the Winter Village. I also recorded last year's Winter Village, if you'd like to see that video. I plan to do a more detailed walkthrough of the Winter Village for this year as well. But this is on only during the winter season. And there's also a ice skating rink here. You can skate for free, but if you bring a bag, you have to pay for a locker rental, and you also have to pay for the skate rental. But if you bring your own skates, it's completely free. You see here, you have a lot of mom and pop businesses who come here and they sell everything from custom candles to socks and clothing, chocolates and foods. Really, really interesting place. If you come to New York, you have to come to the Bryant Park Winter Village. And over there is the famous Bryant Park fountain. The ice skating is still on. There's a painting by Yvonne, made in Brooklyn, Love Pop, all paper artwork. There's a local jewelry store. 5th and Madison, and Mulberry and Grand. Okay. This is someplace I really like. They were here last year as well, the fairy light factory. Okay, I hope you enjoy that little sneak peek of the Bryant Park Winter Village. It is close enough to 6th Avenue, so since I was talking about it, I decided to show you what it looks like anyway. The closest subway station is the 42nd Street Bryant Park station, right underneath Bryant Park. Across the street is a building for the Bank of China. Very interesting architecture there. It's kind of concave or convex. I guess it's both depending on which way you look at it. Oh, and Steen, Denmark's favorite bakery. Haven't heard of this place, but if it's from Denmark, I'm sure it's good. Starbucks. Now, I forgot to mention this, but if you're in need of a public restroom, the Bryant Park restroom is magnificent. They clean it all the time. There's fresh flowers and there's classical music playing. Public restrooms are a hard thing to come by in New York City, especially reliable ones and clean ones. The best ones are in hotels, but the front desk is sometimes not always willing to let you use the restroom. And even if you like walk in pretending that you already know that you're going to use the restroom will have a lock on the door. So the hotels are wisening up in that fact. You can always use Starbucks, but Starbucks, there could be a long line for the restroom, plus it's always dirty, or at least I see that it's always dirty. You can use restaurants, but restaurants may not always be available, especially if it's a busy location. I like to use police stations, which they're required to let you use the restroom if you ask. Doctors' offices and hospitals. Department stores are also very reliable, like Macy's and Bloomingdale's.
Both.
Very
Oh, you like this tonight here? Both.
And if you can find a shopping mall like the World Trade Center Oculus or the shops at Columbus Circle, that's a good spot as well. Apple stores are good because they're generally open very late.
Non-disclosures, you're not allowed to share screens, you're not allowed to use their
But
logo, you're not...
Well,
for the
this is
restrooms,
training.
you
They
kind
can
of have
just say
to
what they
take
want.
what you get.
Yeah.
Use your best judgment and just ask nicely and hope they'll use it.
We have these public training events.
But that's the advice I can give you on restrooms.
So we just...
I wouldn't recommend you use the public playgrounds or public parks because they're not always maintained good. I know I was saying that it was going to get hard to walk in a few weeks, but it's already getting difficult now because it's so busy. There's another Chick-fil-A location. Just in this short walk, there's more Chick-fil-A's than there are McDonald's.
Make a left here. It's actually just...
You know, because of the nature of the work.
Here's a building going up for luxury apartments.
I thought...
ridiculous. New York is always under construction, no matter where you go. Now I'm approaching the intersection of Broadway and 6th Avenue. This area is generally known as Herald Square. Named Herald Square because it was the headquarters of the New York Herald. And on the southern side of this area is Greeley Square. Greeley headed the rival newspaper company, the New York Tribune. But eventually they merged together and became the New York Herald Tribune. There's a lot of buses along here. These are express buses which pick up in Manhattan and make no stops until their destination, far in the other boroughs, that being Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and the Bronx. I'm going to cross here because, or maybe I won't. Those a try. I was going to say that it's less crowded on that side, and plus 6th Avenue runs along the other side of the street. I don't want to get mixed in with the traffic on Broadway. And how can I pass Herald Square without mentioning Macy's, the world's largest store? It has many, many floors in there. I forget how many, but this store is going to get very packed when it gets closer to Thanksgiving. Macy's hosts the annual Thanksgiving Day parade with the big balloons. That's what they're very famous for. This is a very busy shopping district. Fifth Avenue, SoHo, and Herald Square. Those are the top 3 shopping districts in New York City. And I'm going to look over to my left. There's the Empire State Building. Was the tallest building in the world for 42 years. Made famous by the King Kong movie. He also resides in the building with a new gallery. But you can see why there's a big shopping area. Look at all these people. They Gap, H&M, big H&M store across the street. Macy's. Macy's alone takes up the entire block. Okay, that person just cut in diagonally, which I don't like to do in front of people. So here, if I continue down this way is Broadway, and if I go this way is 6th Avenue. So I'm going to go this way. But I think I'll end the video here once I get to Greeley Square. This to my right is the Manhattan Mall. Good place to use the restroom. Here's 33rd Street. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, is over 1 block on 7th Avenue and 33rd Street. Also the location of Pennsylvania Station, where you can get the Long Island Railroad and Amtrak. So here is Herald Square. Statue of Horace Greeley. Okay everyone, hope you enjoyed this video down 6th Avenue from 59th Street and Central Park. If you liked it, be sure to like it down below. Comment on what you like to see in the future and what you liked in this video. And I'll see you all next time. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do it now. Catch you later.